Navigating trust, identifying 9 types of people who may not deserve it. Imagine a life where your inner circle is a sanctuary of support, a haven built on the unshakable foundation of trust. Now, picture the shattering realization that some of those closest to you, individuals you believe to be pillars of strength and understanding, are actually undermining your well-being. This is the unsettling truth we must confront. Not everyone deserves our trust, and discerning who is worthy is a critical skill for protecting our emotional and mental health. As the ancient wisdom reminds us, building a solid reputation takes decades of unwavering commitment, yet it can be irrevocably destroyed in a mere moment of betrayal. Trust, the very essence of human connection, binds us to our friends, family, colleagues, and even casual acquaintances, fostering a sense of belonging, security, and mutual respect. But what happens when this precious trust is misplaced, when we extend our vulnerability to those who are not equipped or inclined to reciprocate with integrity? This can lead to emotional wounds, shattered expectations, and a lingering sense of unease that permeates our relationships and colors our perception of the world. In this comprehensive exploration, we will embark on a journey inspired by the timeless principles of Stoicism, delving into the intricacies of human relationships to uncover 9 distinct types of individuals who may not be deserving of your trust and respect. This isn't an exercise in harsh judgment or cynical condemnation, rather, it's an act of self-preservation, a proactive approach to safeguarding your emotional well-being by becoming more discerning about who you allow into your inner circle. We'll navigate the murky waters of interpersonal dynamics, learning to recognize subtle red flags, decipher manipulative tactics, and ultimately, fortify our boundaries to protect not just our trust, but also our peace of mind. This journey will involve a combination of insightful analysis, practical strategies, and personal reflections, all interwoven with the wisdom of Stoicism, offering a holistic approach to building healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Before we begin, it's important to understand the foundation upon which this entire analysis rests, the very nature of trust itself. Trust is not simply a feeling, it's a carefully cultivated belief in the reliability, integrity, and good intentions of another person. It's a willingness to be vulnerable, to share your thoughts, feelings, and experiences with the expectation that they will be treated with respect and confidentiality. Trust is earned, not given freely, and it requires consistent demonstration of trustworthiness over time. It's built on a foundation of honesty, transparency, and mutual accountability. When trust is present, relationships flourish, communication flows freely, and collaboration becomes seamless. However, when trust is broken, the consequences can be devastating, leaving lasting scars on both the individual and the relationship. Rebuilding trust is a slow and arduous process, requiring sincere remorse, consistent efforts to repair the damage, and a willingness to demonstrate trustworthiness over an extended period. The ability to discern who is worthy of our trust is not an innate talent, it's a skill that must be developed through observation, experience, and careful reflection. We must learn to pay attention to both the words and actions of others, to look beyond superficial charm and assess their character based on their consistent behavior over time. This requires a degree of emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and understand our own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It also requires a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, to acknowledge that not everyone we encounter has our best interests at heart. The Stoic philosophers, masters of self-control and emotional resilience, offer invaluable guidance in this endeavor. They emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and judgments, and accepting what we cannot control, the behavior of others. By adopting a Stoic perspective, we can approach relationships with a sense of detachment, allowing us to observe the actions of others without becoming emotionally entangled in their drama. We can learn to set boundaries, to protect our emotional well-being without becoming cynical or withdrawn. The goal is not to isolate ourselves from the world, but rather to cultivate a circle of trusted individuals who support our growth, respect our boundaries, and contribute to our overall well-being. As we embark on this exploration of the 9 types of people who may not deserve your trust, remember that this is a journey of self-discovery, a process of refining your judgment and strengthening your emotional resilience. The insights you gain will not only help you navigate the complexities of human relationships, but also empower you to build a more fulfilling and authentic life. So, let us begin, with an open mind, a compassionate heart, and an unwavering commitment to protecting our inner peace. Exploring the 9 types. 1. The manipulative individual. Our exploration begins with the manipulative individual, a master of deception who artfully crafts a web of lies and emotional manipulation to achieve their personal goals. These individuals often wear masks of charm and concern, skillfully disguising their calculating intentions behind a facade of warmth and empathy. Beneath this carefully constructed exterior lies a shrewd mind that views others as mere instruments to be used for personal gain. Their skill lies in subtlety, their manipulation is not always overt, making it a dangerous game of shadows, where victims may not even realize they are being manipulated until significant damage has already been done. How, then, can you spot these masterminds of deception and protect yourself from their insidious influence? Look for inconsistencies in their stories and actions. Manipulators are often prone to exaggeration and fabrication, and their narratives may shift depending on their audience or the situation. They might promise the world, showering you with grand gestures and empty assurances, but deliver nothing in return. Their words often don't match their deeds, leaving you feeling confused and disillusioned. Pay close attention to how they talk about others. Manipulators often badmouth those who are not present, engaging in gossip and character assassination to elevate themselves in your eyes. This is a significant red flag, a subtle hint of how they might speak of you in your absence. Their tactics can include guilt-tripping, gaslighting, and playing the victim to gain sympathy and control. Guilt-tripping involves using emotional pressure to make you feel responsible for their actions or feelings. They might say things like, "If you really cared about me, you would do this," or, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me." Gaslighting, a particularly insidious form of manipulation, involves distorting your perception of reality, making you doubt your sanity and your own memories. They might deny events that happened, twist your words, or accuse you of being overly sensitive or irrational. Playing the victim involves presenting themselves as helpless and vulnerable, eliciting sympathy and manipulating you into providing support or assistance. They might exaggerate their misfortunes, blame others for their problems, and constantly seek validation and reassurance. They are adept at twisting facts and situations to their advantage, often leaving you doubting your own perceptions. You might find yourself questioning your own judgment, second-guessing your decisions, and feeling increasingly confused and disoriented. Remember, trust is a precious treasure, and with manipulators, it's a treasure constantly at risk. Their impact goes beyond mere disappointment. Prolonged exposure to such individuals can lead to emotional and psychological distress, including anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. It's crucial to trust your instincts. If you consistently feel drained, undervalued, or confused after interactions with someone, it may be a sign of their manipulative behavior. The key to dealing with manipulators is setting firm boundaries. Be clear about what is acceptable and what isn't in your interactions. Don't be afraid to say no or to question inconsistencies. It's also important to maintain emotional distance. While you can be cordial and polite, avoid sharing personal information or relying on them for emotional support. In some cases, the best course of action might be to cut ties completely, especially if the manipulation is causing significant harm to your well-being. This is not always easy, especially if the manipulator is a close friend or family member, but protecting your mental health is paramount. In the realm of Stoicism, we are reminded of the importance of discernment and emotional resilience. Stoics believe in facing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Recognizing and accepting that someone is manipulative allows us to make informed decisions about our relationship with them. We can choose to limit our interactions, set firm boundaries, and protect ourselves from their harmful influence. This requires a degree of self-awareness, the ability to recognize our own vulnerabilities and the patterns of behavior that make us susceptible to manipulation. It also requires a willingness to prioritize our own well-being, even if it means making difficult choices. As we move on from manipulators, we open ourselves to more genuine and healthy relationships, where trust is given and received with integrity. We create space for individuals who value honesty, respect, and mutual support. This is not about becoming cynical or distrustful of everyone we meet, but rather about cultivating a discerning eye and a strong sense of self-preservation. 2. The perpetual critic. Now, let's turn our attention to the second type of individual you might want to be cautious about, the perpetual critic. These are the people who seem to have made a habit of finding fault in everything and everyone around them. Their words are often sharp and biting, and their criticism is relentless. Whether it's your choices, your dreams, or even trivial matters, nothing escapes their critical eye. But what's truly concerning about perpetual critics is not just their negativity, but the underlying reasons for it. Often, their criticism is less about the people they target and more about their own insecurities. They might be projecting their fears, disappointments, or self-doubt onto others, using criticism as a defense mechanism to protect themselves from feeling vulnerable. Their constant negativity can be incredibly draining, eroding your self-confidence and leaving you feeling constantly judged and inadequate. So, how do you deal with such individuals? First, it's crucial to distinguish between constructive criticism, which is intended to help you improve, and destructive criticism, which only aims to belittle and tear you down. Constructive criticism is specific, actionable, and delivered with the intention of helping you grow. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is vague, personal, and delivered with the intention of hurting your feelings. Listen to what they say, but more importantly, observe why they say it. If you find their criticism is often baseless and driven by negativity, it's a sign to maintain your distance. Engaging with perpetual critics can be emotionally draining. It's like trying to fill a cup with a hole at the bottom. No matter how much positivity you pour in, it never seems to be enough. They are constantly finding fault, pointing out flaws, and highlighting imperfections, leaving you feeling defeated and discouraged. Remember, in Stoicism, we learn the importance of focusing on what we can control, and while you can't control what others say, you can control how you react to it. Setting boundaries is vital. Politely but firmly make it clear that while you are open to constructive feedback, unwarranted negativity is not welcome. You can say something like, "I appreciate your feedback, but I'm not interested in hearing criticism that is not constructive," or "I'm working on improving myself and I'm not open to negativity right now." If the behavior persists, consider limiting your interactions with them. Your peace of mind and self-esteem are far too valuable to be eroded by constant criticism. In essence, the perpetual critic teaches us a valuable lesson in self-respect and resilience. By choosing not to internalize their negativity, you protect your inner peace. You recognize that their criticism is a reflection of their own insecurities, not a true assessment of your worth. You develop a strong sense of self-belief, allowing you to pursue your goals and dreams without being deterred by the negativity of others. This requires a degree of self-awareness, the ability to recognize your own strengths and weaknesses, and to accept yourself for who you are. It also requires a willingness to challenge negative self-talk, to replace self-criticism with self-compassion. As we move forward in our exploration, let's carry with us the wisdom to discern what criticism to take to heart and what to let pass by us like the wind. Let's learn to embrace constructive feedback as an opportunity for growth, while rejecting destructive criticism as a reflection of the critic's own inner turmoil. By cultivating this discerning eye, we can protect our emotional well-being and create space for positive and supportive relationships. 3. The Fair-Weather Friend. As we continue our exploration, we encounter the third type, the fair-weather friend. These are individuals who are all sunshine and smiles when things are going well, but the moment a storm hits your life, they're nowhere to be found. Their friendship is like a leaf in the wind, present in your brightest days, but absent during your darkest hours. The fair-weather friend is often charming and sociable, making you feel like you're truly connected. They are quick to celebrate your successes, offer congratulations, and bask in the glow of your achievements. However, their loyalty is as fleeting as their presence. They are there for the good times, the celebrations, and the moments of joy, but when you need support, understanding, or someone to just listen, they vanish. Identifying a fair-weather friend can be tricky, especially when times are good. However, pay attention to how they respond when you talk about your challenges or seek their support. Do they change the subject, make excuses, or simply disappear until the skies are clear again? This behavior is a clear indicator of their fair-weather nature. They may offer superficial words of encouragement, but they are unwilling to invest the time and effort required to provide genuine support. They may avoid difficult conversations, minimize your problems, or offer platitudes that lack substance. Dealing with such individuals requires a balance of open-heartedness and caution. It's okay to enjoy their company, to appreciate the good times you share, but be wary of relying on them for emotional support or sharing your deepest vulnerabilities. In the philosophy of Stoicism, we are taught to value inner resilience and the strength that comes from within. We are encouraged to cultivate self-reliance, to develop the capacity to cope with challenges and setbacks without relying solely on external support. Relying too much on fair-weather friends can leave you unprepared for life's inevitable storms. When you face adversity, you may find yourself feeling isolated, abandoned, and resentful. So, cherish the good times with them, but also build a support system with people who are there for you unconditionally. These are the friends who will stand by your side through thick and thin, the ones who truly deserve your trust and respect. They are the ones who will listen without judgment, offer practical assistance, and provide unwavering support, even when things are difficult. These are the true friends, the ones who will help you weather any storm. As we move on from the fair-weather friend, we prepare to uncover the fourth type of individual in our journey. Each person we meet along this path teaches us something valuable about ourselves and the world around us. Stay with us as we continue to navigate these insightful revelations, learning to discern the difference between genuine friendship and fleeting companionship. Remember, building a strong and supportive network of trusted individuals is essential for navigating the challenges of life and achieving lasting happiness. Choose your friends wisely, and cultivate relationships that are built on mutual respect, understanding, and unwavering support. 4. The gossip monger. Next, we turn our focus to the fourth type of individual to be wary of, the gossip monger. This person thrives on rumors and hearsay, often spreading stories that are not theirs to tell. Their conversations are a labyrinth of, he said, she said, filled with details about others' lives that are neither confirmed nor relevant to them. Gossip mongers often present themselves as well-informed or in the loop, but the truth is, their habit of gossiping is a sign of deeper issues. It may stem from a need for attention, a desire to feel superior, or an attempt to redirect attention away from their own lives. They may use gossip as a way to gain social currency, to position themselves as insiders with access to exclusive information. They may also use gossip to tear others down, to elevate themselves by diminishing the accomplishments or character of others. The danger of engaging with a gossip monger is twofold. Firstly, it involves you in a web of unverified and potentially harmful stories. You become complicit in spreading rumors and perpetuating negativity, even if you don't actively participate in the gossip. Secondly, and perhaps more importantly, it sets a precedent for how your own stories might be treated. Remember the adage, if they gossip to you, they will gossip about you. If they are willing to share private information about others, they are likely to do the same with your own secrets and vulnerabilities. How do you handle a gossip monger? The key is not to fuel their fire. Be cautious about what you share with them, and avoid participating in conversations that revolve around gossip. When faced with gossip, a Stoic approach is to either redirect the conversation to more constructive topics or to politely excuse yourself. You can change the subject to something more positive or engaging, or you can simply say, "I'm not really interested in talking about that." You can also set a clear boundary by saying, "I'm not comfortable discussing other people's private lives." In Stoicism, we are encouraged to focus on our actions and virtues rather than engaging in idle talk about others. We are taught to cultivate inner peace, to avoid being drawn into negativity and drama. This practice not only maintains our integrity but also protects our mental peace. By refusing to participate in gossip, we create a space for more meaningful and authentic conversations. We demonstrate our respect for others' privacy and our commitment to ethical communication. As we leave the gossip monger behind and move forward, let us carry with us the wisdom to engage in conversations that uplift and contribute positively to our lives and those of others. Let us choose to speak with kindness, compassion, and respect, avoiding harmful rumors and unfounded accusations. By cultivating this practice, we can create a more positive and supportive environment for ourselves and those around us. We can build relationships based on trust, honesty, and mutual respect, rather than fleeting gossip and shallow connections. 5. The Narcissist, 2000 Words. Part 5 of our journey introduces us to the narcissist. This individual lives in a world that revolves solely around them. They are often charming and charismatic, drawing you into their orbit with ease. However, this charm is a facade for their deep-seated self-absorption and lack of empathy for others. The narcissist sees relationships as a means to an end, a way to boost their ego and satisfy their needs. They rarely consider the feelings or well-being of others, and their interactions are often one-sided. When engaging with a narcissist, you might find yourself constantly offering support and admiration, receiving little to nothing in return. They may dominate conversations, constantly talking about themselves and their accomplishments, while showing little interest in your own experiences. They may also be dismissive of your feelings, minimizing your problems or invalidating your emotions. Identifying a narcissist can be challenging, as they are adept at creating a favorable image. Yet, cracks appear when they are asked to show empathy or engage in a give-and-take relationship. Their lack of genuine interest in others' lives and their propensity to steer every conversation back to themselves are telltale signs. They may also exhibit a sense of entitlement, believing they deserve special treatment and admiration. Dealing with narcissists requires a strong sense of self and firm boundaries. It's essential to recognize that their behavior is a reflection of their character, not your worth. Engaging with them with an expectation of mutual respect and understanding will often lead to disappointment. They are unlikely to change their behavior, as they lack the self-awareness and empathy necessary for genuine personal growth. In Stoic philosophy, we learn the importance of focusing on our virtues and not allowing external behaviors to disturb our inner peace. This wisdom is particularly relevant when interacting with narcissists. By maintaining emotional distance and not taking their actions personally, we protect our mental and emotional well-being. We can recognize that their behavior is driven by their own insecurities and unresolved issues, and we can choose not to internalize their negativity. We can also set clear boundaries, limiting our interactions and refusing to engage in their manipulative tactics. This requires a degree of self-compassion, the ability to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, even when we are being subjected to difficult or abusive behavior. It also requires a willingness to prioritize our own needs and well-being, even if it means distancing ourselves from toxic relationships. As we move beyond the realm of the narcissist, we continue to build our resilience and understanding of human nature. We learn to recognize the signs of narcissistic behavior and to protect ourselves from their harmful influence. We also cultivate a stronger sense of self-worth, recognizing that we are worthy of respect, kindness, and genuine connection. This empowers us to build healthier and more fulfilling relationships, based on mutual respect, empathy, and genuine understanding. 6. The Flatterer. Next, we encounter the flatterer. This individual is skilled in the art of giving compliments and making others feel special, but their flattery often has an ulterior motive. The flatterer uses praise as a tool to ingratiate themselves, gain favor, or manipulate situations to their advantage. At first, it might feel good to be on the receiving end of such admiration. Their words may seem genuine and heartfelt, and you may find yourself feeling flattered and appreciated. However, it's important to discern whether the compliments are genuine or a means to an end. Flatterers tend to lay it on thick, and their praise, while seemingly pleasant, can often feel insincere or exaggerated. They may compliment you on things that are not particularly noteworthy or that seem out of proportion to the situation. The danger of engaging with a flatterer lies in the potential to be swayed by their charm. Their compliments might lead you to overlook their flaws or to make concessions you wouldn't normally consider. You may find yourself feeling obligated to reciprocate their flattery or to grant them favors in return. It's essential to stay grounded and not let flattery cloud your judgment. To handle interactions with a flatterer effectively, take their words with a grain of salt. Appreciate the compliments, but maintain a healthy skepticism. Pay attention to their actions, as these often speak louder than their flattering words. Do they back up their praise with genuine support and assistance? Or are their compliments simply empty words intended to manipulate you? If you notice a pattern of insincere compliments being used to manipulate or gain favors, it's a sign to reassess the relationship. You may need to set boundaries and limit your interactions to protect yourself from their manipulative tactics. In the context of Stoicism, we are reminded to value honesty and sincerity over superficial praise. The Stoics teach us to be wary of external validation and to find self-worth from within. By not relying on the validation of others, especially the flattery, we maintain our independence and self-respect. We are less likely to be swayed by their charm or manipulated by their tactics. This requires a degree of self-acceptance, the ability to embrace our strengths and weaknesses without seeking external validation. It also requires a willingness to be honest with ourselves and with others, even when it's difficult. As we conclude our discussion on the flatterer, we prepare to explore the seventh type of individual in our next segment. Each character we uncover on this journey offers valuable lessons on the complexities of human behavior and the importance of discerning trust and respect. Remember, true connection is built on honesty, authenticity, and mutual respect, not on superficial flattery in manipulative tactics. 7. The victim. This individual perpetually sees themselves as besieged by misfortune, always at the mercy of external circumstances. They portray themselves as the perennial underdog, unjustly wronged by life, people, and situations. While empathy for those in difficult circumstances is important, the victim adopts this role as a core part of their identity, often using it to garner sympathy or evade personal responsibility. The challenge with the victim lies in their refusal to acknowledge any role in their own predicaments. They often shirk accountability, attributing all their problems to external factors. They may blame others for their mistakes, complain about their bad luck, or claim that they are always being treated unfairly. Engaging with them can be emotionally draining, as their narrative is dominated by complaints and grievances, leaving little room for positive or constructive dialogue. You may find yourself feeling overwhelmed by their negativity, burdened by their problems, and unable to offer meaningful solutions. Identifying a habitual victim involves recognizing their pattern of blaming others and externalizing their issues. They rarely take steps to change their situation, preferring to wallow in their perceived helplessness. They may resist your attempts to offer advice or assistance, claiming that nothing will ever work for them. When dealing with the victim, it's crucial to maintain a balance between compassion and self-preservation. Offering support and advice is commendable, but beware of being dragged into their cycle of negativity. Encourage them to take responsibility for their actions and to seek solutions rather than simply lamenting their fate. You can offer to help them identify resources, develop coping strategies, or seek professional support. However, it's important to avoid enabling their victim mentality by taking on their problems or offering constant reassurance. In Stoic philosophy, we are taught the importance of focusing on what is within our control, our actions, responses, and judgments. This principle is particularly relevant when interacting with the victim. We can offer guidance and support, but ultimately, it is up to them to take control of their lives. We cannot fix their problems for them, and we cannot change their perspective unless they are willing to do so themselves. As we move forward from the victim, we do so with the understanding that while compassion is a virtue, it must be tempered with wisdom. Recognizing when to help and when to step back is crucial in maintaining our emotional health. We can offer support and encouragement, but we must also protect ourselves from being drained by their negativity and manipulation. By setting clear boundaries and focusing on what we can control, we can maintain our own well-being while offering genuine support to those who are struggling. This requires a degree of self-awareness, the ability to recognize our own limits and to avoid taking on the burdens of others. It also requires a willingness to prioritize our own mental and emotional health, even if it means distancing ourselves from toxic relationships. 8. The envious. In Part 8, we encounter the envious. This type of individual harbors a silent resentment towards others' successes and achievements. They may appear supportive on the surface, but underneath, they are often struggling with feelings of jealousy and inadequacy. Envy is a subtle emotion, it does not always manifest openly, making it one of the more insidious traits to identify. The envious person might give you backhanded compliments or downplay your accomplishments. They may say things like, "That's great that you got promoted, but it's probably just because they needed someone to fill the position," or, "Your new car is nice, but it's not as reliable as my old one." Their envy can also manifest in passive-aggressive behavior or in finding ways to undermine your achievements. They may spread rumors about your success, try to take credit for your ideas, or sabotage your efforts in subtle ways. They may mimic or attempt to outdo your successes, not out of inspiration, but out of a desire to compete and prove their superiority. Recognizing envy can be challenging, as it often hides behind a facade of friendliness or admiration. Pay attention to how they react to your successes or good news. Do their congratulations feel sincere, or do they always seem to add a negative twist? Do they often compare their achievements to yours? Dealing with envious individuals requires tact and a solid sense of self-worth. Don't let their envy diminish your achievements or dampen your spirit. Celebrate your successes, but be mindful of whom you share them with. While it's natural to want to share good news with an envious person, it might be best to be more reserved. This is not about being secretive or distrustful, but rather about protecting yourself from their negativity and preventing them from diminishing your joy. In Stoic philosophy, we are encouraged to focus on our path and not be swayed by others' negative emotions. Envy is a reflection of the other person's inner turmoil, not a true evaluation of your worth. By understanding this, you can interact with the envious without internalizing their negativity. You can offer them compassion and understanding, recognizing that their envy stems from their own insecurities and unmet needs. However, it's important to set boundaries and avoid allowing their envy to impact your self-esteem or your ability to celebrate your successes. This requires a degree of self-confidence, the ability to recognize your own worth and to celebrate your achievements without seeking external validation. It also requires a willingness to be authentic and genuine, to share your successes with those who are truly happy for you. As we conclude our discussion on the envious, we prepare to unveil the 9th and final type in our exploration. Each personality type we have explored offers insights into human behavior and the importance of choosing our associations wisely. Remember, surrounding yourself with positive, supportive, and open-minded individuals is essential for cultivating a life filled with joy, purpose, and genuine connection. 9. The judgmental. We arrive now at Part 9, the conclusion of our exploration, with the judgmental. This individual is characterized by their tendency to make quick and harsh judgments about others. They often hold rigid views of the world and are intolerant of opinions and lifestyles that differ from their own. The judgmental person is quick to label, criticize, and dismiss others without seeking to understand their perspectives. They may have strong opinions on everything from politics and religion to fashion and personal choices, and they are not afraid to express those opinions, even if they are hurtful or offensive. Dealing with the judgmental can be challenging because their harsh critiques often lack empathy and understanding. They may have a moral or intellectual superiority complex, believing their way of thinking is the only correct one. Their judgments are not just opinions, they are pronouncements that can impact relationships and social dynamics. They may create a sense of tension and unease, making it difficult to feel comfortable expressing yourself or sharing your thoughts and feelings. To identify the judgmental, look for signs of inflexibility in their attitudes and a lack of openness to different viewpoints. They are often unwilling to engage in meaningful dialogue, preferring instead to impose their views on others. They may interrupt you, dismiss your opinions, or try to convince you that you are wrong. When interacting with the judgmental, it's important to maintain your values and not be swayed by their narrow-mindedness. Stay true to your beliefs and avoid getting drawn into fruitless debates. The key is to acknowledge their opinions without internalizing them. You can agree to disagree, maintaining a respectful distance. You can say something like, "I understand your perspective, but I don't see it that way," or, "We have different opinions on this, and that's okay." In Stoic philosophy, we are taught the importance of developing our character and judgments based on reason, empathy, and understanding. We are encouraged to be open-minded and to recognize the value in diverse perspectives. This approach helps us to interact with the judgmental without being affected by their narrow views. We can recognize that their judgments are a reflection of their own limitations and insecurities, not a true evaluation of our worth. We can also choose to focus on our own values and principles, rather than being influenced by their negativity. As we conclude our series on the 9 types of people who may not deserve your trust and respect, it's important to remember that this is not about casting judgment ourselves. Rather, it's about being aware and making informed decisions about the people we allow into our lives. Each of these personality types teaches us something valuable about human nature and the importance of surrounding ourselves with positive, supportive, and open-minded individuals. By cultivating discernment, setting boundaries, and prioritizing our own well-being, we can create a circle of trusted individuals who support our growth, respect our values, and contribute to our overall happiness. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through the complex terrain of human relationships. As we navigate our interactions with others, let's carry with us the wisdom and discernment we've gained. Remember, the quality of our relationships greatly influences our happiness and well-being. Choosing wisely who we trust and respect is not just about protecting ourselves, it's about cultivating a life filled with genuine connections and positive experiences. We have explored 9 distinct personality types that may warrant caution: the manipulative individual, the perpetual critic, the fair-weather friend, the gossip monger, the narcissist, the flatterer, the victim, the envious, and the judgmental. Each of these types presents unique challenges and requires a different approach. By learning to recognize the signs and setting appropriate boundaries, we can protect ourselves from their harmful influence and create space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. The manipulative individual seeks to control and exploit others for personal gain. Setting firm boundaries and maintaining emotional distance are crucial for protecting yourself from their tactics. The perpetual critic constantly finds fault in everything and everyone. Discerning between constructive and destructive criticism and choosing not to internalize their negativity are essential for maintaining your self-esteem. The fair-weather friend is only present during good times. Building a support system with people who are there for you unconditionally is vital for navigating life's challenges. The gossip monger thrives on rumors and hearsay. Avoiding participation in gossip and being cautious about what you share with them are key to protecting your privacy and integrity. The narcissist lacks empathy and seeks constant admiration. Maintaining emotional distance and not taking their actions personally are crucial for protecting your mental and emotional well-being. The flatterer uses praise to manipulate and gain favor. Taking their words with a grain of salt and valuing honesty over superficial praise will help you avoid being swayed by their charm. The victim constantly sees themselves as besieged by misfortune. Encouraging them to take responsibility and maintaining a balance between compassion and self-preservation are important for avoiding being dragged into their negativity. The envious harbors resentment towards others' successes. Celebrating your achievements without letting their envy diminish your spirit is key to maintaining your joy and self-worth. The judgmental makes quick and harsh judgments about others. Maintaining your values and avoiding fruitless debates will help you stay true to yourself and avoid being affected by their narrow views. In the spirit of Stoicism, let's embrace the power of emotional resilience, the value of true understanding, and the strength that comes from knowing ourselves and others deeply. As we move forward, let's apply these insights to build richer, more meaningful relationships that elevate both our lives and those of the people around us. Remember, the journey of self-improvement and understanding is a lifelong pursuit. By cultivating discernment, setting boundaries, and prioritizing our own well-being, we can create a life filled with genuine connections, positive experiences, and lasting happiness. Thank you again for being a part of this series. If you found these insights valuable, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your reflections enrich our collective understanding and contribute to a community of wisdom and growth. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more content that delves into the profound aspects of philosophy, psychology, and personal development. Stay thoughtful, stay curious, and above all, stay true to the path of self-improvement and understanding.